What up? What up?
What's going on?
Hey, yo, it's your boy Troy,
It's your boy Sean.
and we tapped in once
We
again.
tapped in. We tapped in.
Man, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. We had to go around the world. You know what I mean? Get us right so we could be on the live tonight.
That's it, but it worked out, man.
Yeah, it
It
worked out,
worked out.
man. Just minor setback, but we here. We here.
Man, you know what I realized today?
What?
Man, all day long felt like I was in the 90s rap video. And the reason I say that, because of the weather, man. Like, everywhere you went, when I went to breakfast this morning, was split. You got jokers in there with jackets, jokers in there with shorts.
Shorts, yeah.
And you remember the 90s videos?
Yeah, yeah,
They be by the pool. You had somebody in the pool, then somebody walked through with a chinchilla on.
yeah. With chinchilla or jeans 3 times too big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tim's
when you
on. You be like,
Tim's on with a long sleeve shirt with a jersey on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody else right next to him, man, in a bikini.
In a bikini.
He be like, man, what season is it? That's how I felt all day today, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, man, it's fun time of year. We into well, oh, before we get into that, so we want to go back to what we was talking about last week. First, we want to say thank you for everybody who's been liking and sharing the videos. We appreciate that.
No doubt.
But most importantly, we want to make sure we clarify that this is going to be an actual what do you call
Well, it's a real
real
competition,
competition. Yeah.
but we're taking based off of your recommendations or somebody reaching out to us. So last week we didn't specify, but if you know anybody that's interested, any teenagers interested in participating in the competition, have them inbox us, reach out to us on the Tapped In page, King's Closet.
Sean Stewart,
Yeah,
Sean Stewart at Century 21 Home Team Realty. Whichever way you can find us, inbox us and just say, hey, I got somebody who was interested. I did have somebody reach out to me. You know what I mean? So I did respond back to them. But for everybody, I know it's a ton of engagement on the video, but this is a competition that we want to do. We want local teams that are in school to be involved and be engaged, and we want to we want you guys to be able to cheer for them and root them on, trying to do something the right way.
no doubt, and supportive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So, man, like this is, I think we touched on it last week. This is one of my favorite times of the year. Like NBA is winding down. You're ready to get into the playoffs when they ready to play for real.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And then the NCAA tournament, we down to the Final Four.
Man, yeah, it's exciting time for basketball, man.
It is, man. It is. But I'm I'm wondering, man, where I'm at in this stage of life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's a Final Four, but I only know three. I only can remember three of the teams right
Bro, I'm about right there with you, and I think it's because we don't do the sports bet much. Because I think you'd be a lot more involved.
now. Yeah,
But man, life's just man so busy. I don't even know the times the games be coming on, man.
right.
Honestly, so
Yeah, no, I remember at one point in time. I mean, I had all the time in the world in the evenings to watch the game, or
yeah.
even during
Oh, you made time.
you made time, or when there was a field of 64. I mean, that first day, I mean, I was locked in. From
Yeah.
12 o'clock, watching whatever was the best game. Trying to see if we get a game-winning shot or a huge play.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh
I
yeah.
was I was tapped in from start to finish. Like now, man, I haven't. I have not. I want to make sure I'm not lying. I haven't watched the full game.
Right.
Like I might have watched a half of a game here, first half over here, but like to really sit and watch like game after game, have not been able to do it. Only time I did that was at Governor's Challenge.
Wow. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's when I was locked in.
Man, I remember being in high school. Man, we had a few teachers where they turned the TV on in school when it
They
comes
roll
to
that thing right
roll
in.
that thing out, man. And we watching the games, man. So it's always been exciting, man.
It was, man, and that's crazy because that is when March Madness comes along. That's the first memory I have is being in school, them bringing in the and rolling in the TV, and us watching
Oh
basketball.
yeah, oh yeah,
That
that's
was
it,
fun. That was fun,
man. So NBA, man. I mean, what you think, man? You got any early predictions, man?
man. Man, because of the way they did my boy in the Olympics, man.
Oh yeah,
How, how you gonna win an NBA championship, man, and be the best player on your team,
right.
and he telling you, "Hey, I can't find no minutes for you right now."
Yeah.
What you mean? I'm all NBA, an NBA champion.
Come on, Jalen. Who you
Oh,
talking
I'm
about?
talking about Jason Tatum.
You talking about Tatum?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Tatum.
okay, okay,
You know
okay.
what I mean? And I can't get no tip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got me sitting on. You have me sitting on the bench
Mm,
when the guys that's deferring to me on my own team
right.
getting tipped.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Mm.
Come on.
Politics, man. Politics.
Hey, he got every right to be to have a chip on his shoulder and run that thing back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
I think in the East, the top three teams is Celtics, uh, the Cavs, and I'd say the Knicks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick still tough.
yeah.
Yeah, they definitely.
But it's still, I mean, you still got to compete with those guys out in the West. I mean, you got Joker having a 60-point triple double.
Come on, man. Yeah,
60
yeah.
point triple double, Steph like 36, 37. He just had 50, 10, 12 for 10. I mean, 12 for 20 from the field. No, 12 for 20 from 3 point
Wow,
in the game.
man, it's amazing, man.
I,
Listen,
I don't know if my math, but I think that might be like 60%.
yeah, yeah, it's big. It's
Yeah.
over 50%.
Yeah, it's over 50.
Over 50.
Yeah.
So look, and that's crazy because when you talk about longevity in the league,
Mhm.
because he's not putting a whole lot of wear and tear. You know, if it was like in the paint, you getting beaten, man, he probably could shoot that shot, man, until he and his man close to 50. Yeah,
Maybe, maybe 50 and still be the best shooter.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, he's
easily,
already the best shooter ever.
easily,
But I
easily.
mean, yeah, it's nothing, nothing they can do. And even they showed a clip like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Did you see that one?
Which
When
one?
Steph was in, the tunnel that they run out of.
I seen that, and he missed by a hair.
But from what I hear, there was another one where he made it.
Wow. I mean, his trajectory is always there anyway. It's like
Man, but that's crazy, man. To sling that thing with one arm that, and even get that close.
yeah, yeah. And man, look, speaking of shooting, man, I gotta throw this one out here, man. Man, what's up with Ja, man? Listen, you know what? I'm gonna, you know what, man? I'm gonna take his side, man, because when you shoot the basketball,
Right.
it's all about shooting and all that. I believe it's instinctual. You know what I mean? Like somebody come down, and he bang on you, whatever, and he do a little shooting symbol. I mean, I think it's blown out of proportion. I think it's blown out of proportion, man. What do you think?
I mean, if it was anybody else, it'd be blown out of proportion. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's too close. But the crazy thing is, I was watching another podcast. Shout out to 520 podcast with Jeff Teague and B Hen and
Oh,
DJ.
yeah, no doubt.
So so B Hen said, he said, look, man, bro, it wasn't fair. They said like a play before, Buddy Hield came down, hit the shot, and then he put up the
He
gun.
bumped on him.
B Hen said, man, he just retaliated, man. He shot at him first.
That's right, man.
Yeah, so
That's
he
self
shot.
defense at that point, man. It's self defense, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with him.
So in context, man, he was just self defense. He shot at him first.
Yeah, and it's an emotional game, man. You out there, you having fun, and they amongst their peers, man. I don't think it was nothing threatening or menacing.
But Ja got to find another celebration.
Yeah, you got fun another
You got to do the gritty or something, man.
Right,
Do the
okay.
Tootsie Roll or something.
Yeah, you got to tone it down,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, man. Yeah, man. He might even get away with pulling out a bazooka.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But you just can't make the signal,
Man,
huh?
just can't make that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you, man. So look, man, another NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, he was in the headlines a lot this week, man. And I found it interesting, man. It's a lot of layers to this, man. Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not for sure if you know everything that's going on. But man, first of all, the Joker did something I never heard of. He paid 18 years of child support and one whop. He was like, "Here, you want to charge me this much for it?" And he wrote the check and said, "Leave me alone."
Mm-hmm.
Now, two things. First, the young lady, and I'm not close to the story. I don't really know much, but the young lady was pregnant, and they agreed to have an abortion.
The
He,
same lady.
yeah, he wrote her $100,000 check to get rid of the baby. Say, I don't want, the kids. Did that, right? She still had the child,
Mm-hmm.
and then went to child support court. So he said, okay, I gave you 100 racks. Now I'm gonna write this check. It was 1 point so many million,
Mm-hmm.
and here, that's it. I don't want nothing to do with the kid.
Right.
Now, what I took from all of this, and not to get too controversial, when they talk about women's bodies, women's choice, abortion, things like that, it's cool, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree,
Mm-hmm.
but if this man telling you, I don't want nothing, I don't want the kid, I don't want nothing to do with it. Is it his body, his choice?
It is, man. It is. So, and I know what you're saying, but it's his body, his choice. He gotta make that right decision to make sure that that don't even be an issue.
But saying that, is this the women has that same choice to make too,
It is.
where they don't make it an issue
Right.
because you can't abort it unless it's already
Done.
done.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So, like, so for me, I think when you're in that position,
Mhm.
I mean, so I'm gonna speak to it from, let's just say it was my son,
Uh-huh.
right? And he's, number one draft pick, number two draft pick. Prior to going into that, it's probably stuff that's already being thrown his way,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
right now, I mean, if he don't have nobody who been with him on the journey, you kind of gotta vet everybody,
oh yeah,
and you gotta. It's sad, but you almost gotta say, almost expect the worst
yeah, yeah,
out of
yeah,
out
yeah.
of anybody. What are they trying to get from me?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they say you meet a girl, whatever, it's like I'm on birth control, or whatever. It's like it's your choice,
Uh-huh.
right? It's your choice whether you want to trust what she told you, or it's your choice whether you like, nah. I mean, I just ain't I ain't doing it like
But they
that. I mean,
even
I'm taking
craftier than that though. I mean, it's almost like you got to bring your own
yeah,
umbrellas and everything to the
and that's
game,
what you
man.
got to do. But
Bec-
that's what you got to like. That should be something that should be like drilled into them,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it should be an automatic. Yeah,
Unless you want, you got to expect that anybody that you lay down with wants something from you,
right.
right? Rather it's to be married to you or to have a baby by you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's it. It's one of the two
They try to
things.
secure that
They
position.
try to secure. They
Yeah,
try to secure something. So your job is to secure your position and make sure going into that, man, you don't leave nowhere without distract.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I ain't talking about job strap.
Right, right,
I'm
right.
talking about being
Yeah,
strapped. And you know what I mean, like if you don't like it, man, get some nice lambskins.
yeah,
You, know,
right.
you got
Yeah,
you got the money for it.
yeah, yeah,
Get some
yeah,
lambskins, man.
yeah,
I mean, cause you know how it might be like, oh, I'm latex sensitive, or oh, baby, don't worry about it.
yeah.
Don't worry about that.
I'm prepared. I'm
I'm
prepared.
prepared.
Yeah,
I'm prepared.
yeah, yeah.
But see, but the other thing to it, man, is a family unit in that,
Right.
right? So now as a young as a young person growing up with access to so much
Hmm.
media and stuff,
Right.
this kid is gonna hear early on that his dad wrote a check and they ain't want to have nothing to deal with it.
Right. But is the mom going to be honest enough to say, hey, you happen to be a pawn in a game that I played,
And she pretty much got it.
and got played.
It's pretty much what she. I mean, I can't speak for her, but if you listen to her video, it was just like, hey, I happen to choose to allow myself to get pregnant by a wealthy man. Paraphrasing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I choose, and then then she went on to say, well, if I match that up to some of you other ladies who got pregnant by men who ain't wealthy,
Uh-huh.
but I'm the bad one. I'm
That,
not saying
no, no,
I'm
no.
not condemning that,
I'm
but
saying,
she's
but
saying y'all want to run me up the flagpole, but when I did get pregnant, I got pregnant by somebody who could pay me.
right. But that's the thing that when you accepted that first 100K and say, I agree with you that we're gonna terminate the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Regardless if we agree or disagree with that. But that was a contract. That was saying, okay, boom, okay. That's what I'm gonna get out the deal. Now, 100K and millions
Right.
is two different things.
It is.
And I'm sure after she agreed to that and got that money in her hand, she started thinking, wow, I get this now, but for the next 18 years, at least I can get, whatever. Man, I'm gonna ride this thing out. Because it had to be something that transpired from then when they made that deal to say, okay, I'll give you 100K to terminate it, to her having the baby. Like,
When you think about it, all right, if you're in that position,
uh-huh.
and I would say even me, if it's like, yo, I really don't want no kids,
Hmm.
and you tell her that, and it's like, look, what do you want? Like I know abortion, what they cause, and again, I'm just saying hypothetically. I mean, I'm
Right.
not saying this is what I would do, but I'm just saying in playing that out, if you even said that, look, here's the money, I'm going to give you this extra, just because I know it's that's going to take a toll on you as
Right,
well,
right,
right?
right.
But then for her to not do it, it's like I can understand him saying, "Look, here's a check, boom, don't ask me for nothing else." What I can't understand is it's still your child,
Yeah.
right? Even though she lied and you got every right not to want to have anything to do with her.
Right.
You got every right not to want to have to deal with her. Don't come and ask you about no money, no this or whatever.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing that should transpire in the next 18 years that you need to come to me to ask me for anything,
Uh-huh.
right? The only thing I want is just access to my son. That's it.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? So, and I don't know if he did that or not. They haven't came out. All we know is that he wrote a check like, hey, what I mean, I'm done.
It's a vicious cycle, man. I mean, that's how Michael Jordan did him, right? No. No, that's
Hey,
yo.
hey, it's some familiarities there,
You
man.
said they familiar.
I
For
see
real,
it.
you see it?
Yeah,
Nah, man.
man.
I always thought that was a running
Man,
joke,
you
but
think about his athleticism,
yeah, yeah.
like pure athleticism.
Uh-huh.
You think about, I mean, you even look at his like high cheekbones.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you really look at it, it's like, uh,
Um,
I wonder. You know what I mean? Not saying that is, but it's like I
right.
wonder. And then when you look at him play, he like one of the only players that wear the band on the
Hmm.
calf like
Yeah.
Mike used to. You know what I mean? He got that charisma.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Man, that
know?
would be something though, if that was true, and then to see the cycle come around. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
But I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, it's all a movie, right? It's
It
all,
is. It
all a
is, man.
movie,
It is.
man. Yeah. So look, man, thinking about, movies, TV shows and all that, man. What do you think the correlation is, man? Like the TV shows and series and things that you choose to watch, do you think that depicts part of your personality?
I don't think. I don't think so. And I'll say this because, like I'll say, for instance, my wife. She like when she's off sometimes, or if she's on vacation, that's when she'll watch TV.
Uh-huh.
Some of the stuff that she watched, you would never think that she would watch that stuff.
Right.
And it's just like, what do you like about it? It's like I don't know. It's almost like it takes them out of where they are, or for her, takes her out of where she is into like a story. It's almost like reading a book,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not saying that that's a part of you, but it's just like it makes you think about something other than what you would normally be thinking about.
You don't think that if all you watch is Ratchet, that you're tapping into even if it's a closet Ratchet inside of you, man, you're tapping into it because
It might be something there that you relate
something's
to.
being fed. I
Yeah.
mean, I hope that's not true because my wife watch a lot of killing movies and stuff like that. But no, that's it. I'm the one who watched that. I love ID and stuff like that.
Oh, for real.
Because, yeah, but I'm into like the psychological
Mhm.
part or something. So I like when they break it down and you find out, what was going on in their mind and how they was, plotting. But just for somebody who constantly, I mean, here recently I tried watching a series. I'm not even gonna say the name because I know everybody probably watch it. But I got 2 episodes in, and my spirit was just vexed, man. I'm like, man, I can't
Right.
watch this.
Right.
And how can you consume so much of this and it not become a part
Of
of
you.
you?
Yeah. And it does, man. I mean, that's what entertainment is, man. It pulls you away from reality, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you think about it. That's why entertainers get paid, is to
Mhm.
make you believe in what they doing enough to pull you out of your own reality to watch theirs.
Okay, but the part I don't understand about it, and I'm not trying to get too deep. I just don't really understand. So the characters that you love and that keep pulling you back to the screen, right? When you see these characters in real life, you despise them, but you're intrigued by them
Mhm.
when they're on
On
the
the screen,
screen.
right?
So it's like,
Yeah, that's weird, man. That part of it is weird. You
you,
know, because so like I think I can't remember the name of the show, but it's one show that my wife watches where it's a story of a lady who travels back in time. So she's in present day area,
uh-huh.
and she goes all the way back to like the 1600s,
Hmm.
living over in Germany or somewhere where they're in a war. And when she leaves, when she travels in time, she's married.
Hmm.
When she stumbles back in time, she then meets another guy there.
Right.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
right.
And so then she's pulled between these two
Yeah, parallel.
these two parallel. You know what I mean? And it's weird. And I say that because it's like a thing, like Victorian type stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's stuff that she'll watch a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Don't kill me, baby, because I'm telling you, yeah,
Right.
but like old Victorian stuff
Hmm.
that you wouldn't even think she would relate to is is what she would sit and watch.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, is there something there? Is there, you know what I mean? Is there something about the decorum, the way that men and women were treated, or the way that they
Uh-huh.
respected each other, or is it because you're watching maybe a royal family and you seeing the things that went on behind the scenes, and what's intriguing you is like the thought process of what was
Right.
happening and
Right.
how it's evolved.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot of different pulls, but I think the most important thing you touched on earlier was when you said if you start to feel kind of vexed, where like, man, I
Hmm.
shouldn't really be watching this. I think if you continue to consume that, I think that will change you.
Oh, yeah.
Like if
Oh,
you
yeah.
did, if you ignore that, but that's only for people who are in tune spiritually. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So if you don't have no source that you're trying to line up with, and you're okay with doing just you, you're not even gonna get that pull because it doesn't even matter to you because that's what you want to fulfill yourself with whatever that
Right.
pleasure
Right.
is.
Right.
Somebody who's not trying to fulfill themselves with that and finds themselves being pulled in that direction, I think it's up to them to say, hey, look, I can't be consuming this.
Yeah, because I think too much of it, man, it'll desensitize you, man, to a lot of things. Because so much of that is shown on the screen, but it is reality. It's
Right.
real life. You know what I mean? It's real life, and sooner or later you're gonna encounter some of
Some
those things in real life.
right.
And if you used to it, like used to just saying, "Oh man, that's TV, that's that," you're gonna be desensitized to it, and it's almost like you're not gonna react the same.
Right. And you never. I mean, you think about it. Is that why some of the things happen in the young community? Like they see so much. If they watching Power, or they watching Book Up. I can't. I don't watch them. So,
Me either.
but yeah, I mean, all of those type of shows that's about drug dealing and getting in the position and you gotta knock somebody off in order to get there, or you gotta knock somebody off to be able to prove a point, or you gotta have this particular story to even be validated in the streets. It's just like is and you combine that with the music that they listening to.
It's an
It's a
unhealthy diet. It's a
right.
consistent unhealthy diet,
Right.
man. And I'm always gonna go back to my upbringing. One of the very first songs, man, we learned in Sunday school. What was it? Be careful, little eyes, what you see. Be
Yeah.
careful, little ears, what
What
you
you hear.
hear.
Right.
Because these are the portals, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what we take in. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy some of them shows. I do, you know
Right.
what I mean? But it can't be 7 days a week, every night. This
Right.
is what I'm,
Right.
taking in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's gonna throw you off.
Eh,
It's gonna throw you off.
Yeah, yeah.
So opportunities, we all get them.
Yes, sir.
We all get them. So why do you think it's important to take advantage of when they
Man, listen. I used to be one of the ones who need to have all the information. How's it gonna play out after this? You know what I mean? So some opportunity might come my way. I'm like, oh nah, I'm gonna sit back and chill. But as I got older, I realized that if that opportunity aligns with where I'm trying to go, man, it's important to take advantage of all opportunities.
come? Right.
That's aligned with where you're trying to go because you don't know the people you're gonna meet. You don't know the relationships you're gonna build from those opportunities. And then, sometimes you'll miss an opportunity and you'll see somebody else prosper from taking advantage.
Right.
And you be like, man, why didn't I take advantage of this opportunity? And that's how your name get into rooms that you're not even in by taking advantage of certain opportunities. So I think it's real important, man. I think it's real important, but I also think it's real important to know where those opportunities are coming from because I'm a firm believer that people always feel like, what's in it for me? So
Mm.
if they're coming to you with an opportunity, then you do have to sit back and say, okay, what's in it for them too?
Right.
But I think it's very important to take advantage of opportunities.
It's crazy because like with opportunities, I think they also come with a nudge, right?
Uh-huh.
And I think that nudge is God telling you this is an opportunity for you,
Hmm.
right? Because you don't if the opportunity comes, it's been something that you've already been thinking about
Right.
doing,
Uh-huh.
or in a direction that you've been trying to go. And what stops a lot of people from taking that opportunity is they can't see it all the way out.
Exactly. They don't know the end game
Right.
to it.
But that's not how it works. You never know what the end game
Right.
is. And so many people get stuck because they can't figure out how it's going to play, even though they see an opportunity in front of them.
Uh-huh.
It's like they they second guess themselves so much that they get afraid and the opportunity is no longer there.
Right. Yep.
And you don't know when it'll come back again. See,
Mhm.
I believe that you may get a couple of opportunities, but it might come in a different form,
Mhm.
right? It'll lead you to the same place, but you won't get there unless you say yes to that opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, because it'll go to me. The way I explain it, like to my kids, those little thoughts and ideas that come to you and then you don't act on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see somebody else who acted on
Mm.
that same
Mm-hmm.
same exact idea, they acted on it, and you have to now watch to see how that opportunity played out because you didn't
Wow.
want to take it,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
and that's a hard place to be in,
It
man.
is, and I think the opportunities are there for everybody because I think they're given to everybody, and if one person doesn't take it, that opportunity goes to another person, and
Yeah,
if that person don't take it, it goes to another. It's looking for somebody to say yes,
right.
right? And the person that says yes, as long as they put in the hard work and do the things necessary, it's gonna play out however it's gonna play out. Like some opportunities isn't meant to play out to be a success. Some opportunities are meant to be able to teach you lessons along the way that you have to be able to, you got to learn
Hmm.
because guess what? When that one fizzles out, another opportunity is going to come and you've already been prepared because you've been through that,
Right,
right?
exactly.
And so now you're taking those lessons from what you thought at that time was a failure or something that you failed at. Now you get to apply those lessons to this new opportunity and then you build on that.
Right, right, because you done already been through it.
You've already been through it.
And the good thing about that is too, your opportunity is your opportunity. Sometimes, we like to help out, and sometimes you'll get an opportunity. You say, "Oh, I know somebody that's good for that." No, it's not for them. It's
Right.
for you. And when I think about that, man, prime example, one of my favorite episodes of the Cosby's. I
Hmm.
don't know if you remember this, man. One time, Theo, I believe, he had won some tickets, or him and Cotton, he won some tickets, man, to be on some dance show or
Oh,
something like that. He won the opportunity. They got right to the door and they said, you know what? I think he brought cockroach with him. And he said, we only got room for one. And that was Theo's opportunity. But that's his boy. He said, nah, man, you go ahead. His boy said, nah, man, you go ahead. He said, one more time, nah, man, if we both can't go, man, you just go ahead. Cop was all right. He went in.
yeah, yeah,
And Theo was hot, man, because he gave up his opportunity. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And sometimes you got to secure it for yourself.
You do,
And then if you want to pull somebody else in, but sometimes your opportunity is your opportunity.
man. You just touched on something. I want to stay on this subject for a minute, man. But you said pull somebody in. I watched a video the other day, and the guy was explaining like trying to help people,
Uh huh.
and he had he stood in a chair, and he had the little girl. He was like, "I want you to pull me down,"
Mm-hmm.
and so she pulled him, and I mean he on the chair, so he gonna fall down, right?
Right.
So it was easy for her to pull him down.
Uh huh.
And then he said, I want you to get on the chair. And he said, now I want you to pull me up.
Uh huh.
And she was like, I can't pull you up. He said, see, that's what I want you to realize. In life, it's harder to pull somebody up than it is to pull somebody down.
Right.
It's easy to pull somebody
That's
down.
it.
It's hard to pull somebody up.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes part of the opportunity is realizing that some people you're not able to pull along in that
Right.
opportunity
Right.
because it's for you.
It's for
Right.
you, and they haven't put in the preparation steps to take advantage of this opportunity. We might have talked about it, but if you hadn't been putting in the work,
Yeah.
then when the opportunity comes, it's okay. This is for me because I'm prepared. But so.
And that's the other thing.
Hmm.
That's the other thing. When you are working towards something, it's important not to try to look for the shortcut. Like spend the extra time trying to learn, trying to read, trying to figure out whatever that thing that you're pursuing is,
Hmm.
because all of those things will help you be prepared to recognize that opportunity when it comes.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's like it's one thing to say, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this," and then somebody comes to you and they have an opportunity for you to do it, but it's like I'm not even prepared to even to do that yet.
Right. Right.
It could be I want to, it's I'm trying to use an analogy. um, you want to have a nonprofit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to help homeless mothers and their kids,
Uh-huh.
right? And you want to raise money, and you happen to be at an event, sitting next to somebody who wants to be able to help somebody who's doing it,
Right.
and it's like, hey, I just, and this is a real scenario. I knew of a business owner that has sold a business, had money
Uh-huh.
that either they would have to pay taxes on or they could donate it or whatever.
Right.
And if they were sitting next to you and they wanted to donate to that, they couldn't even give you the money because you don't even
You
have
wasn't established.
501c3 established yet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, like when I'm saying get prepared, like you do the things that you can do to get to the point where you want to go to,
Oh yeah.
and then somebody will come along or an opportunity will come along that'll be able to push you to that next step. But if you haven't taken the steps to prepare
Mm-hmm.
to get there, rather it could even be preparation. Doesn't have to be that. It could be mentally. It it could be mentally, physically, you cutting things out of your life that aren't allowing you to focus on getting to that next space,
So true. So
right?
true. Yeah.
And so it could be a pruning of your own self, things that are pulling you in directions that you really don't need to be going in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I got to cut these things out of my,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, of my life because I need to be focused and be prepared for when this opportunity comes. And sometimes that's what the opportunity is waiting on. Is waiting to see if you're willing to take the sacrifice to get yourself to the place
That's
where
it.
you can get it.
One of my favorite sayings, man. Preparation is not time wasted, man.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not time wasted. You might don't see the result or the end game, but keep taking steps into that direction because it's gonna connect.
Yeah.
It's gonna connect. The opportunity is gonna come. No doubt.
Yeah. So speaking of opportunity, man, when are you in a position where you can help friends and family? What's your rules for when you're helping them? Monetarily.
Monetarily,
Monetarily.
man. Listen, you know, we always say that prayer, man. Make me the lender, not the borrower, and all
Mhm.
that. So you know what? I don't mind lending. I don't mind helping.
Mhm.
I don't mind helping because we all go through things and we all need. Sometimes the money's just not there. So you can come to me, you can ask me for it. But one of my biggest rules is, and this is my family's rule. My wife and I will discuss it, but it's one of those things, man. If I loan it to you, I'm only gonna loan you what I can afford to lose.
Mhm.
What I can afford to lose. Because honestly, not everybody, if they're in this predicament, not everybody's great with money. So if you come to me and you say, I'm just saying hypothetically, I need $500. And I know looking at my finances and my budget that this $500 would hurt my situation if I don't get it back.
Mhm.
But I know I can give you 250 and
Mhm.
if you don't pay me back, I can that's what I'm gonna give you.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna allow you to put me in a situation where it's gonna hurt my household.
Right. Right. And so we've never talked about this before,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I've never forget this lesson, dude. Came from my grandmother.
Uh-huh.
It's the same thing. Don't lend what you can't give.
That's it.
Don't let and at the time I was like, huh? But as I thought on it and I got it didn't I might have thought on it for a little bit, but it was like, okay, I got it. And it's the same thing that you said. Because what happens is when you lend what you can't give and you don't get it back, then that causes you to have start to fester up these emotions towards this person,
Uh-huh.
right? And it's not and it's because you gave what you needed,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
You gave them something that you actually needed for yourself
Mm-hmm.
and it hurt you. And so now it's like, okay, I gave what I needed, to you to help you, and now you back where you need to be at, and I can't get what I needed back.
Right, 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 right.
You know, and it allows, and so when you lend from a place of giving, that same emotion is not tied to it.
That, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like you when you lent it, you gave it. So if it come back, it come back. If it didn't, I was willing to get that anyway.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. It is. I'm trying to say it the right way, but sometimes I'm happy when you don't give me back my little funky money. Nah, I'm glad because now I feel like I done paid you off. Because sometimes those same favors they keep coming back, coming back. And if let's say if I loaned you something and you duck and you run off on me, you're not gonna feel right coming back to me.
Right, right.
So while you're stressing over, oh man, he's worried about this, I'm happy. Like,
I
okay.
don't know, man. Some jokers will come back.
You see, now that's audacity. That's too much. That's too much audacity, man. So,
Act like you never gave me the other one.
say nah. Say we ain't doing that because I'm gonna.
They say, hey, Troy let you run it up over there.
No, sir. But I'll buy you off. Listen, keep that. Keep it. Stay over there. And I love you. We see you at the barbecue. And we have fun. We ain't got to talk about it. Because now I ain't got to worry about you asking me again. You know what I mean?
Right.
But and then there's some family members, man, for whatever reason, man, that credit great with me, man. You come to me anytime. And I don't even think about it because I know, first of all, if you ask, you need it. And second of all, your word is your bond. You say you're going to give it to me X amount. I don't have to say nothing. I look up, boom, it's there.
Right.
But I just said that earlier, man. I seen something on Facebook. The guy, he posted, he had $100 bill. He was smelling it. He said, man, I'm just smelling my money, man. He said, before I loan it to him. So that way, make sure it ain't a funky little $100.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, but that's man, but it's crazy how many friendships, how many family relationships
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that can be ruined. You know, over if people just exercise that rule that we had,
Mm-hmm.
there'd be so many other families that would or friends that would be friends and family members that would be okay with being around each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because and I say that, but even in a relationship, it may be one of you that feels that way and one that doesn't. You know what I mean? So there still might be some issues. Like it could be a husband and wife, and it's like, okay, we're not gonna lend it unless we can give it. One of you might be able to let it go, and the other one might not be able to let
Right,
it go.
right,
You know,
right.
so it's still gonna be some tension there. You know, but it is a good rule. You know, I think for anybody, young, old, or whatever, you know, just to use to govern how they, you know,
And it's good. I feel like two things. When I was younger, I used to have a problem with asking for what's mine. You know what I mean? I'll be around people and hemming and hawing. Nah, you owe it to me. I'm gonna ask you, hey, yo, you said Friday, you got that?
Mhm.
But it took me growing to get to that spot because I was, a little timid with doing that. And then also, if you're loaned it, I feel like you had the right to ask questions.
Right.
Because I remember when we first started out, man, I was young. I'm talking about 19 years old. And man, one time in my whole life, and not saying I have it like that, but it was just a learning curve for me. We went to try to get some assistance.
Hmm.
And we had our own place and everything, and things was a little tight. So when we got there, man, the amount of questions I had to answer. If we give you this, then how you gonna pay it next month? How you gonna do this? I mean, they asked me so many questions. I'm like, never again. I'm never asking. But as years went on, I start to understand that line of questioning. Because if I'm giving you money, let's say for a car or to get a car and all that, but you don't have a job or anything like that, but you seen a car that you wanted to purchase, and I know you can't get the insurance, you don't have the job, you don't have this. Am I really showing my money in the good ground? Because it's like
It's being irresponsible.
it's,
It's being irresponsible.
it's being irresponsible.
Yeah.
But you got to ask those questions.
Yeah.
And you had the right to ask those questions if you lended it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I say it all the time. You know what I mean? Jokers come, oh man, yo, look out for me, man. I'm trying. Yo, if you don't have the means and support, why I'm gonna throw my money into an idea or something you got that you're not gonna be able to support?
Right. Yeah, you gotta show me something.
Yeah,
You gotta show me some work. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
or at least that you willing to work means that you got a job, you doing stuff actively,
yeah.
trying to cover that cost yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you just asking me for a little assistance on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like that. That's a different look than where you sit stagnant and you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I give you the money and you sit with your feet up. You know what I mean, twinkling your toes.
Yeah, nah, man.
You know what I mean?
Right, right. Because you
Yeah,
work too hard, man. And
yeah.
yeah, you had to grind it out for
Yeah.
yourself.
I ain't even doing
Right.
that. I ain't even twiddling my toes.
Right, right. Yeah, right. No doubt, no doubt.
That's cool, man. So what else we got, man?
Man, what wonderful world of real estate, man.
Okay. Oh, okay. Is there really a better time of year
Mm-hmm.
to sell a house? The best time to sell a house is when you're ready to sell your house,
Yeah, yeah,
right? You know what
yeah.
I mean? That's
Because
the
when
best.
you read magazines and all that, they always say, springtime or, this,
Right. So
so
if
on and so forth.
everybody's reading them magazines, guess when they gonna put their house on the market?
Right,
They can put it on the market when it's springtime.
right.
So that means if you sold it before spring, you won't be competing with as many houses. So you probably would be have less houses that you're competing with, more buyers. So you probably make more money
Right,
as opposed to when a whole bunch of properties, supply and demand.
right,
The supply is extremely high. The demand is not strong enough for it. So now you might have to sell it for a little bit less than what you wanted to.
mm-hmm.
But I always tell people when you're ready to sell, that's the best. That's the best time. So if you contemplating and you saying, okay, well, we want to sell our house and buy another house, and you feel like that's the move you want to make, you should do it
Mm-hmm.
right then. Because then the other thing is motivation. What is
Right,
your motivation? If you're just putting it out there as I want to see what I can get for it, well, you're not really motivated.
mm-hmm.
But if you're doing it for the purpose of doing something else, now you're motivated, and
Right.
that's the time when you want to put it on the market. It's crazy because, like, really, the latter part of the year,
December of what you mean around that time?
because if your house is on the market, the people that's gotta want to buy are gonna buy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you put something out in those time frames, you got less people who had their houses on the market. Yours is on the market, ready. You know what I mean, ready to go. And so when people see that a newly listed house is coming on the market in November, December, one, they know this person is serious about selling because nobody puts a house on the market that time of year.
Okay,
Christmas
that's
trees
good.
going up, you try and move, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Get some Thanksgiving dinners, like people are not putting the house on the market then unless they really serious.
right,
A
right.
joker that's trying to get as much as he can for a house is not going to put it on the market at that point in time.
So going against the trend,
Get you more money.
get you more money.
Hmm.
Gang, man, it's
Yeah,
gang.
gang. Yeah, yeah.
All right, no
So
doubt.
cool, man. I think this felt like it was a little short and
Man,
sweet tonight, man.
yeah.
Started late, man. We short changing y'all.
Nah, man, I think it's a good conversation, man. Great conversation, actually, man. I got some good takeaways, man.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
So again, we want to wrap this up with the same thing that we started with, which is the teen challenge or teen competition. With selling the merchandise, the gear from Troy. If you're watching this again, you can hit us up on the Tapped In page. Hit me up on Sean Stewart on any platform.
In King's Closet,
On
yeah,
any on
Facebook, Instagram.
Yep, same thing. Facebook, Instagram, Tapped In on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we would just love to get a really good turnout and have a lot of people that we can choose from, just so we can see how the next generation is gonna move this thing.
And no doubt. And listen, even when we reach that number we're looking for, man, continue, man, to give us names and whatnot, because this is not going to be the only one. We'll be running the back with some other things. So let us know, who's interested.
Yeah, and most importantly, like, comment, share the content, and stay tapped in.
Stay tapped in. Peace.
Peace.
43.